Hey y'all, it's Vaughn, and today's video is going to be 100% about my diet. I get this question a lot in terms of what I eat, my reasons why, different misconceptions about different things. I just want to take this video to go ahead and clear that up for you guys, and I take pleasure in that. So just also to be clear, this video is not about preaching to anyone about what they should be eating or what they should not be eating. All I'm going to be doing in this video is just explaining what it is that I do. Not that kind of YouTuber when it comes to hair or style or fashion, so I'm not going to do it when it comes to diet either. And this is just telling you guys what I do because this has been highly requested. So my diet is classified as a pescatarian diet. The word pesca, which is an Italian word for fish, and vegetarian, which is, we all know, a well-known word to describe an individual who does not eat meat of any sort. So that's what pescatarian sort of came from. That's like the origin of the word. A pescatarian diet is best described as a vegetarian diet that also consumes fish, shellfish, crustacean, etc. So pescatarians do eat seafood. They don't eat the meat of any animal that has ever breathed air. I just also want to take this opportunity to kind of distinguish between the different types of diets that exist that omit meat to some degree. So, of course, like I said, the pescatarian diet is a vegetarian diet, but we just eat seafood. The vegetarian diet, though, is a diet consisting of no meat from any animal. So there's vegetables, fruits, breads, some pastas, berries, and you know, different things like that, but just no meat in there at all. So no seafood, no red meat, no pork, no nothing. Okay. With the vegetarian diet, though, some animal byproducts are consumed. So butter, eggs, milk, you know, different dairy products and different animal fats sometimes are consumed, but just not the actual meat itself. With a vegan diet, that is no meat, no animal byproducts, no animal fats, nothing, none of that. So the only thing that a vegan consumes is things that had nothing to do with an animal whatsoever. Very distinct, different diets. They are not the same whatsoever. You know, you can't be a vegan and a pescatarian. It's absolutely impossible. If you want to know more about it, I definitely recommend just Googling it. You can find a ton of information about those 3 different diets, but that's just my opinion of the difference and my way of just sort of paraphrasing what I've learned, okay? The reason that I decided to become a pescatarian, it was actually a no-brainer for me. But it was quite easy for me to make that transition because, like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of a lot of meats anyway. I never really ate pork, only certain beefs, you know, certain beef products. So I didn't really eat ground beef. I didn't eat, I only eat like steaks. That was really it. And so it was kind of easy to just really let that go. I did eat duck, I ate quail, I ate lamb, but that you know, that stuff wasn't that hard to let go of. But I started going pescatarian back in November, I believe, around the same time that I decided to go natural with my nails. And I just decided, I just kind of went cold turkey. I decided I just didn't want to eat any sort of meats anymore, but that I would still eat seafood. And then I was like researching and trying to see like what type of diet that was, and I found out that there's actually a classification for that sort of diet, and it's the pescatarian diet. Some of the health reasons that made me want to do that is the fact that a lot of those meats are not necessary to live. It's not necessary to thrive. You don't need meat to survive. You don't. And just learning some of the things I've learned from watching documentaries and a lot of non-mainstream nutritionists, you know, getting further information from what you just hear from reading the books and all, you know, like the mainstream stuff, that a lot of stuff is not good for you. The way that it processes through your system, the way that your body recognizes it as a toxin because it's actually dead stuff that's coming through your system. A lot of those things I took into consideration, and I just decided that I just wanted nothing more to do with it. My reasons for wanting to change my diet had nothing to do with any physical appearance things, nothing cosmetic. I didn't want to lose weight. I didn't want to have a different type of figure. None of that stuff even mattered to me. I've been this same size that I am now. I'm about 118 pounds. I've been this size since I was about 15 years old. So none of that had to do with losing weight. But I will say this though, when I did go pescatarian and I stopped with the beef and all of that, I did lose some inches around my waist. My stomach just kind of sunk in and just kind of flattened out. And everyone's results will be different if you decide to change your diet. But for me, my stomach got flat, and I was like, wow, you know, I mean, I've never been a big girl, but I definitely noticed a couple of inches difference in my lower abdomen. And it just kind of made me think. It kind of made me kind of question what was that in the first place. If it wasn't fat, what was it? And from like I said, watching different documentaries and reading different texts on what it's like in your intestines, I kind of just put two and two together, like, okay, that must have just been the beef, still in my system, just kind of holding on and sort of sitting there. So I'm very pleased with my decision to have gone pescatarian. I don't regret it. Do I have cravings for different meats that I've eaten before? Yes, I do. Is it the most difficult thing to overcome? Absolutely not. It's quite easy just to say I'm not eating that, So for me, going pescatarian has changed me in a couple different ways. I mean, it's not like a huge deal, but it has changed my food choices and how I eat. For example, you're being forced to be more conscious of what you eat when it's time to eat. So where you would normally say, okay, well, it's lunchtime, let me go grab a quick burger from Burger King or McDonald's or whatever, you're forced to say, well, when I go to that place, do they have the types of things that I eat? Do they have seafood? Do they have vegetarian options? It kind of makes you think a little bit hard about what you put in your mouth. And it's not necessarily anything wrong with that, because you should be doing that anyway. You should be very conscious of what you eat. You should be very critical of what you eat. I mean, it's going inside your body. It's what's giving your body what it needs to thrive and to live. So if you're not taking into consideration what you eat, you probably should be. So, and that's not a criticism. That's just a fact. It's definitely changed me in that way, whereas now I have to think a little bit more about what I'm eating. And lunchtime at work in downtown Chicago, it can be very annoying. Because you don't want to eat the same thing every day, but there are not as many vegetarian choices as you would assume. And the reason I'm saying vegetarian choices is because a lot of the times when I'm eating on the fly, it's a lot easier for me to just make a vegetarian food choice and to say, okay, well, where's the seafood and blah, 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 because as you know, seafood is a higher end meat. I don't want to be, going to a high-end restaurant every day on my lunch break, so I'm more likely to make vegetarian choices. So I do want to name off some of the places that I prefer to eat, and some of the places that I think are good places to get good vegetarian food with different selections and stuff like that. So one of my favorite places to go on my lunch break is a Mediterranean, I want to say fast food place. It's called Mesa. And of course, they serve Mediterranean food. And of course, you guys, if you know anything about Mediterranean food, you know that it's a lot more, they have a lot of vegetarian choices. And when I go there, I usually get because they serve vegetables and seafood and stuff on skewers, and they grill it. So I usually get like the spicy shrimp wrap. So they have like a whole grain wrap, and they put like the shrimp that they've grilled. They put some vegetables in there, like chunks of eggplant and green peppers and some other stuff. And they put like some spicy sauce in there. I think you can get a cheese sauce in there too. Roll it up. Eat that for lunch. It's delicious. Or sometimes I'll just get the vegetarian wrap, which is the same thing except no shrimp. I like having those options. I also go to Jimmy John's a lot, and I'll get like the vegetarian sub, which comes with alfalfa sprouts, avocado sauce, provolone cheese, lettuce. Well, I don't think there's any lettuce on there. There's a lot of alfalfa sprouts, so it kind of gives you the idea of that you're eating lettuce. And it's delicious, and there's no meat in it, and I don't miss it. I also sometimes, when I want to treat myself, I'll go down the street to this place called Sam or Siam. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a Thai food place. And I always get the red curry shrimp. It is delicious, but they also have it where you can get it without meat at all. And it's just as delicious. But if I do want a little bit of meat texture, then I will order the one with the shrimp in it. There's also a new restaurant that I just found out about from one of my friends on Facebook. It's a restaurant. It's a fast food. I think it's Black owned. It's called Quench, and this is what their menu looks like. And I wanted to show you guys because it's something that was new to me, and I just wanted to share it with you guys if you're from Chicago and you want to check this place out. But they specialize in no beef, no pork. So even though I don't eat chicken and all that other stuff, if it says no beef, no pork, there's probably some vegetarian options. So that's kind of like it sets off a bell. The light comes on in my head, and I'm like, And just like I thought, they have vegetarian options, and these are some of their options. And they also have things where they just have stuff with seafood in it and stuff that I eat, which is awesome. And I went here the other night. I took my boyfriend with me. And I ended up getting a tilapia dish with like red beans and rice. It had like this really good Cajun sauce to it, and it was delicious. It was like the most amazing tilapia dish I've ever had. So I really love it, and their prices are really reasonable. Everything is like they have a lot of sandwiches that are less than $7, as you can see. They're like $5.50 each, and then a lot of their entrees are like $13. But I mean, that's not bad for a really, really delicious meal. So I definitely would recommend Quench. They have these all over Chicago. I'm not going to name off all the locations. You guys can just Google it. But again, it's called Quench. And they specialize in no beef, no pork. I think that's actually their tagline, no beef, no pork. So, yeah, and they've been featured in a lot of different Chicago publications, as you can see. So they're doing quite well, and I'm really excited that it's a Black-owned business and that they are serving up healthy fast food choices for the south side of Chicago, the hood, pretty much. So I'm really, really excited about that. So, you know, with my new diet, I mean, like I said, I'm only 4 months in, but I feel like I've been eating this way all my life because I've not missed some of the things I used to eat at all. Like, I feel like I'm a totally new person. I've been drinking more water. I've really had to focus on that because I used to be a straight Coke drinker. Like, all I wanted to drink was Coke. I wake up in the morning drinking Coke on my lunch break. But I completely started being like, you know, I need to drink more water. I mean, our bodies are 75% or more water, so why aren't we drinking more water? And that was my biggest issue that I had to overcome. So I'm drinking more water now, eating better, and I feel better. I have a lot more energy. I take the stairs whenever I can. I'm not getting on elevators. I'm not getting on escalators unless like I'm in the mall or something. I have no choice. But it's just the little things that you can do to just, you know, improve your health. And what I've learned about the human body is that it's very forgiving. So even if you've lived a life of, you know, like say you're 25 years old, 25 years of eating, you know, really bad things, really processed foods and stuff that you should not be eating. If you decide today that you're going to start eating better, eating more raw foods, things that have not been cooked, so the enzymes are still alive, the proteins, everything are still active, you start doing that, your body is going to make a 360 turn so fast. And I mean, you're going to have, you know, drawbacks, and you're going to experience down periods, you're going to be tired, you're going to go through it. But you come out of it and your body is going to thank you, and it's going to improve, and things are going to start changing. You know what I mean? So you got to give your body what it needs to do, what it needs to do for you. So if you want to have a healthy temple and you want your body to treat you right, you want to be able to run up a flight of stairs without breathing hard, all these different things, you got to give your body what it needs to do that. You can't just expect it to do it on its own. I mean, it's going to try. Your body will try its best to do what it needs to do for you, but it's going to take it out on your health. So if the body needs more protein, it's going to take it out of your health. It's going to, you know, if your body needs more water, it's going to take it out of your skin and your eyeballs. And like, you know, it's going to get what it needs, but it's going to wear and tear on you. And you're not going to look your greatest. And, you know, a lot of times I get people who ask me, what do you do to make your skin look so clear? You know, I don't ever see you with pimples that often and stuff like that. A lot of it is genetics because my dad actually has really, really great skin. I think I get it from him a bit. But a lot of it's also the things that you put into your body. A lot of, you know, your hair growth, your nail growth, your skin, all that starts with right here. It starts with what you're putting in your mouth most of the time. I mean, you can use whatever lotions you want to use, whatever acne products, but it starts right here. So if you can realize that, you can go do your own research. I definitely just recommend not looking completely at just mainstream information about your health, because just to be honest, when you pick up those books, those health books, those nutrition books, it wasn't necessarily a black person that wrote that book. So you're looking at a mainstream idea of health when black people, honestly, you know, we have our own health issues that only affect us or affect us more. Things like hypertension, high blood pressure, heart disease, Alzheimer's, you know, a lot of those diseases can be prevented by better nutrition. And if you're going to do your own research, I just definitely recommend, you know, going out there, finding scholarly journals, looking at documentaries, things that are not so mainstream driven. Because just so you know, a lot of mainstream health advice is sort of revolved around the pharmaceutical industry, because, you know, if everyone was just well and nobody needed anything, then what would the pharmaceutical industry be? That's a multi-billion-dollar, you know, industry. It is a company. It thrives off of the money that gets, you know, shoveled into it. So you don't want to base all your information on that, knowing that, because they're trying to sell medicine. So if people stay sick, medicine's going to constantly, you know, sell off the shelves. So do your own research. Don't just depend on that mainstream stuff, because it's biased. So again, this is not a video about, you know, telling anyone what they need to do. This is just giving you guys better insight on what I do and my reasons why. So these are my reasons. I hope that it's inspired someone out there. If you guys want to comment below, tell me about, you know, your diet journeys, you know, things that you've tried that work for you, the knowledge that you have about the things that you put in your mouth. Put it below. And we can just have a conversation about it. It's not going to be anything derogatory. Okay, let's not have that. Let's be positive. Let's encourage one another. Let's live well, be well. So that's all I have for you guys today. And if you guys have questions, comment below. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.